I made the tremendously great decision to come back to Toontown to check in on some wear and tear that is already happening. We talked about the wear and tear that's happening inside Runaway Railway, but out here in the play yard, you know, near the Dreaming Tree, that little play area that was the cornerstone, the centerpiece of the concept art. They have installed some roots that kids could play around in, jump around, climb on, climb under, whatever. It's great. Kids are having a lot of fun. A lot of fun, apparently. There was damage the very same day. They weren't even open for a few hours before, you know, I guess you call it the paint on those roots were chipped away badly in a lot of areas. So I got a lot of reports from folks who were sending me pictures on that. You can see there was some bad damage down there. But it looks like they have repaired it for the most part, although I don't know how long that repair is going to last, because I don't imagine it's any different than what they had in there already. And it's not like kids are going to be playing on this less. You can see, I want to say that this is an example of where they may have already repainted over it, because it has a slightly different color, you know, to it. I don't know, maybe. But for whatever they did, they fixed some of it. There's still a few chip spots there, here and there, that you can see. So they're going to be working on this. If they keep doing the same thing, they're going to have to go back there on the daily, on the weekly, to fix that. The light pole. This light pole right here, the blue light pole, which is also in the same park, that got chipped away very, very badly, very quickly. Also, they have already repainted that. Again, I'm dubious as to the durability of whatever repair they made there. I don't know what the reason is for or why this stuff did not hold up well at all. I mean, literally, not even a day. Not even a day. Did they do it cheap? I mean, it sure seems like it, but you would think the expectation, they should know going in that this area was going to get a lot of attention, a lot of friction, you know, kids playing on it. It's not like it's behind the fence and you can only... Are they using the same treatment that they would do for a theming element that is protected behind a fence or somewhere else in a themed area where people can't touch it or get into it? You got to play it. You got to do it differently if you're going to put it out here right out. There are thousands of people here, many of them children, who don't care about your theming. They just want to play on that thing. This is an interesting situation. We're going to have to pay attention to this, because I don't see how, if they were able to solve that problem in a day, certainly it's no better a situation than they had to begin with when it already wore down in less than 12 hours. I can report that the fountain is back and fully operational with everything working, the water running, all the little fountains doing their business. People are allowed to go in there and enjoy it, splash around a bit. That is happening. It was down for a while. I think the report I read was that there was an issue with the pH balance in the water. I don't know how they discovered that, but there you go. However, I cannot do the same for the water features here at Donald's Boat. They are still non-functional. Those little plates down there, that's where the water's supposed to, you know, pop up there. Kids can jump around and play in there. And finally, I can report that Toontown is still positively bonkers crowded. Everywhere you look, there are just way too many people. Everything is full and packed. I was here the other day at night. It wasn't too bad, maybe 2/3 of this, but everybody is still here. Everybody is still enjoying Toontown quite a lot. It is pulling boffo numbers. You still gotta wait in a lengthy queue to get a slushie, hi guys, or a picnic basket here at Good Boy Grocers. 60-minute standby, by the way. It is at least that, given this crowd out here in the extended queue. At least 60, possibly more. Always it depends on Lightning Lane and how busy Lightning Lane is. As for me, I'm getting back out of here. This is madness. Madness, I say. Wow. Suddenly, so much has been revealed. It's fantastic. I don't know what happened. They took down a whole bunch of obstruction. You can see the center house, you know, I'm sure that's mother and father's room, probably. You can see the stairs that you take over to the son's room. I'd assume that would be the stairs that you previously would have taken to see the Okay, light, tiger, cougar, leopard, one of those three. And you can now also see the far room, the daughter's room. Although I don't really see any sort of decorative, you know what? Okay, let's get back here. Check this out. You can see some of the theming elements there on the center thatched roof. Little balcony that they've created there. Just below that, behind that scaffolding, this is the area, that's basically what we've been able to see before. In the past, that was all we could see. It was that little section right there, where they have taken a lot of obstruction down. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to see here through the lens, through the viewfinder. Hi guys. I may have to do this again in post. Oh look, you can see the pulley. There's a, okay, I don't know if that's prop or functional. Attached to that the green, the rolled up scrim. Am I getting that? Attached to the rolled up scrim, it looks like a pulley system. I don't know if that's functional or not. Right in front of the attraction now, looking straight up into it. So all I can see now is that thatched roof and the little balcony, the tiny little balcony. It's kind of like a crow's nest almost. You know what, it probably was the crow's nest from the sunken ship, right? And then they turned it into a little balcony. That sounds about right. And there you can see a little bit of the path into, or actually, well, what would have been when it was Tarzan's treehouse, that's the path leading out of the room where, that's the room where Jane was painting Tarzan, and then you would go out that way, and that was when you started making your way down. Recall that we believe that they're going to be reversing the directions. So what I just said about that was the way out, that'll now be the way in. You're going to take, well, we don't know what the upstairs are yet, but they're gonna, you know, that's the room you're going to visit. The boys' room. You're going to visit that room first, then the daughter's room, and then you're going to go back to the boys' room, and then that takes you down. Those stairs that we saw at the very top, those are going to be the last room you see. If I do this backwards, that's the last room you see, and then you head down those stairs, which were the stairs you went up before. Those stairs right there. That was where I used to try to see the Galaxy's Edge construction. You would take those stairs right there down, which we saw a little bit when we were on the Mark Twain. We saw the stairs leading down, and they will wind down, beep boop bop, until you get to about here. And then right here, I feel like that's more scaffolding than was there before. We've been looking for scaffolding in this area because that's right about where they're going to be putting the water wheel, which is going to be a terrific element in front of this whole attraction, is the water wheel, and that's about where you would be entering, if I recall. But you know, that's a little bit more scaffolding than we saw there in the past, down there on the ground. So I would say we're probably not far off from seeing the installation of that water wheel. I was given a heads up. I want to say that a person who said that who was familiar with, you know, the process of this, said they're thinking summer. They're thinking like June or July, I think, for this to be complete. And it feels like we've been making rapid progress towards that direction. I feel like we are getting swiftly closer to completion at the Adventureland Treehouse. I cannot wait. I can't wait. I love the treehouse. Be that Tarzan, well, Tarzan's treehouse, I love the aesthetic of it. I love the design. I love the natural beauty of it. The theme, I don't care. I don't care if it's Tarzan or whatever, but I much prefer, definitely prefer it to have a Swiss family theme than a Tarzan theme. Never mind that they're not calling it the Swiss Family Treehouse. It is the Swiss Family Treehouse, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Tiana's palace from the New Orleans Square walkway. Still just scaffolding. I don't see anything happening here. Yep, just as I expected. This looks remarkably similar to last week, and the week before that, and the week before that. 6 months. We've got 6 months, from what I understand, to finish Tiana's Bayou adventure. We're off to a slow start. But isn't that always the case? Like every time I do one of these things and something starts, I'm so eager and like excited for something to happen and follow it. And it's like, it just always starts out so slow and just like, come on. Especially the dirt phase on a major construction. The dirt phase takes forever. There's no dirt phase in this, but still the beginning is taking forever. And I forgot how reliable Grandpa is at this kind of business. So I'm gonna take it around. I'm on the other side of the gazebo. No, nothing. Let's try on the other side of the fountain. When things do start happening, though, I think this might be where you might have seen. I'm not sure how much we'll be able to see from the steps by the train. That being a side view. This is straight on right here. Well, they really have shipped ashore bare almost. They no longer are. They had a cast member here last week selling drinks out of a little kiosk thing there, but it is completely gone now. So is the awning, the tent or whatever that they had hung up above, and everything else is stripped, with directions sending you to Stage Door Cafe for chimichangas and turkey legs, as we instructed in a previous video. Look at that! Monorail is open, back up and running, and that means we could do our update of downtown Disney.
In the Disneyland Resort Hotel. If you will be leaving us here and returning later today, please hold on to your marked ticket as you leave the station. You may reboard the monorail for a return trip to Tomorrowland up until 1.5 hours prior to Disneyland closing. Please remain seated until the monorail.
Made our weekly trek to downtown Disney. To my left is the Uva Bar, and just in front of me is Gathercole. We've been talking about how they're going to be closing these locations in the future. We now know what that future is. Both will be closing. Gathercole and Uva Bar will be closing on April 9th. April 9th will be the last day of operations for these two locations, and then we eagerly await the outcome of whatever it is that they're doing to the home store, which I am positive they are tethered. The whatever they're doing at home store and Gathercole. As for the home store, I don't really see anything observable today on this trip. They've got a tarp, a clear tarp covering some of the visible areas, so we're not able to tell where they're at in terms of construction. We'll keep our eyes on any kind of construction updates they might do here at Gathercole and Uva Bar. Paseo and Centrico is what is replacing these two locations. It's going to be sort of an upscale Mexican dining. And so the question that we have been asking, if you've been paying attention to the show for the past few months, is if they're going to put an upscale, Mexican restaurant right here and at Gathercole, both, what are you going to do with Tortilla Joe's? It's not like they could both exist, right? So the assumption is that Tortilla Joe's is going to close. And I've heard anecdotally from other folks that is in fact the case. We've heard, third hand from cast who work at Tortilla Joe's that they are expecting to close sometime in the summer, which means now, what's going to go there? Well, the only thing that's left that we haven't, I don't think they're going to just it's a very specific building that it doesn't lend itself to other kinds of themed foods. So the assumption is that's where Din Tai Fung is going to wind up going. And if that is the case, we've seen the concept art for Din Tai Fung. That's not it. So they would have to tear that building down, which suggests that we're a few months from demo, and then from demo starting, and then demo will probably take a few months at least, right? So we're probably 6 months from just getting to the dirt phase, and then they got to build that thing up again from the ground up. So you're looking at a year or more. It's going to be a couple years by the time they finish whatever it is that they're built. The Earl of Sandwich. I don't know if you heard in our previous report. Earl of Sandwich is going to be a 3-level building that they're doing in the dirt right now. That's at downtown Disney, that vacant lot that we just filmed, that it's full of trenches and water and still hasn't gone vertical, and it's been like that for over a year now, it seems like. It's got to be a year, right? So we're looking at 2 years. That building is supposed to be done, that whole dirt lot there, construction should be done by next summer, sometime summer 2024. So you figure 6 months plus another year. Hey, how's it going? You're looking at least 18 months. At least 18 months for whatever it is that they're planning where Tortilla Joe's there right behind me, if it's Din Tai Fung, you're looking at least 18 months before that building becomes something else. A little bit further every time we come out here to the Pacific Wharf, soon to be San Francisco. The bridge is now visible completely. They had walls up. They had walls up on the interior, on the inside part of the bridge. You could see the outer steelwork there, but then the inside it was covered with walls. All that is gone now, so they are completely done with whatever it is that they were doing there. Just waiting for, actually, that, I want to say that square piece at the end is new also. I think that's new. And then they'll be putting in the supports for the last piece. We mention this every week, but just saying that's what's left to do here on the bridge. Do not see anything happening yet here at the Pacific Wharf Canning Company, which I assume to be eventually, well, the Pacific Wharf Cafe anyway, to wind up being the Lucky Cat Cafe. I feel like this is the first time we've really seen the sign still says Pacific Wharf. So that's probably temporary. Eventually that'll say San Francisco, but it looks like it's new, or did they just paint the sign? Same sign, but repainted? I'm gonna go with that. It smells good in here. I am so hungry. Hi, just dropping into Pacific Wharf. I'm actually in the middle of filming construction here, but I'm walking through. Take a look at that. Hey, we're gonna mix this up right now. This smells so good right now. I don't know if this is trip report or construction report. This smells so good. How am I gonna get out of here without eating any of this dinner? But everything looks the same here. By the way, if you're wondering when I'm talking about mixing it up, filming a vlog. I'm vlogging the construction report. I'm doing the construction report, and then in between all the shots of said construction report, I am vlogging my day, and that's going up on Patreon. So just in case I confused everybody there a little bit. But what's more this week? Situation normal. Everything looks about as it does. I'm not seeing anything being taken down, stripped, prepped, or anything like that. This land, every day, every week that I come back here, I believe more and more is going to look identical to how it does now, with a few exceptions. The exceptions that we've seen in the concept art, and the things that we see them working on already, like the cerveceria here, and the bridge, and then the scaffolding that's out on Pacific Wharf Canning Company. It is at this point that I can say that if there is something not covered in scaffolding right now, it's not gonna be. This is it. So if you're worried about Ghirardelli's or the Bodine or anything else, well, you know, Rita's is going to get a new sign. But I don't think Rita's is going to require anything else besides it. It's not going to require any scaffolding or scrim. I think they're just going to put up a new sign. That was really cool. That was really cool. I couldn't see anything. I don't know how that's going to come out, but I couldn't see anything. I mean, not even through the lens, I couldn't see it through the viewfinder, but also there's nothing, we didn't get it was a lot easier to see backstage when they were building it the first time. Now that it's all built, it's very difficult to see backstage. There's all kinds of trees and buildings and stuff, so it's hard to see. I think I need to try the opposite bench on the next time. I'm going to go up there again, and I'll try the other side of the bench, inside the cabin. But you can't really see much from up there. But I'm hoping that something, that now that we have a baseline footage, that we can at least see if they're doing something of any kind. Maybe not specifics, but we can see something. Meanwhile, great spot. Great spot to see if anything happens at Redwood Creek Challenge. Whew. I mean, I don't even think they're even going to change the colors of the umbrellas or the chairs or the paint job or anything. I don't think they're going to change anything. And in case you missed it in our news video earlier this week, construction walls have popped up here next to Avengers headquarters. The word on the street is that it's going to wind up being, they're going to wind up installing the gift shop that was intended for this building a long time ago. When they first built this land, there was an e-ticket that was going to go behind that wall on the other side of the vendors campus, the other side of the headquarters there, and there was going to be an exit through the gift shop right here. Word on the street is that that's what they're going to start building. Hey, how are you?
How's it going, man?
Good, good, thank you. I'll check out our previous video on that for more details, but we'll probably put this on our regular schedule of stops. So look for that, Fresh Break. We'll be covering that in the construction updates here. Hopefully soon we'll see some activity right there at that's the doors. Those are the doors right there for the eventual gift shop. And by the way, part of that conversation that we had about the gift shop isn't just the fact that there's going to be a gift shop, if it does happen, which it should. It's what does that mean? Hey, how are you? What does it mean that they're building a gift shop? Because I am one of those people who believes that everything means something. So there's a purpose. There's going to be some kind of ripple effect. Something is up with the construction of that gift shop. Maybe it's a signal of an e-ticket. Maybe it's a signal of something happening at the back lot where they have the Marvel Superstore now, or maybe it's a signal that Disney is changing their stance, their position on things being in universe here at Avengers Campus and also at Galaxy's Edge. Weird as it may seem, that thing could be a signal that we could expect legacy characters in Galaxy's Edge. I know that's a leap. You gotta watch the video to see how I get there. I was just here 2 days ago and there were giant fake hedges up here blocking this part of the theater, the Hyperion Theater. The assumption was that they were working on getting this area ready for Q again, for the show, for the the Avengers Captain, what is it, Rogers the Musical show that they're going to be doing here at the theater. But look what's back. These were not here before, right? They took them out so they could put in the seating, and now they're back, ready to have guests go through there and separate the guests between the mezzanine, the balcony, and the orchestra. As I make my way down Hollywood Boulevard in DCA, that is a wrap. Oh my gosh, that is a bright sun. I do believe my face is going to catch fire. That's our construction update for you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Let's make